Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Stunning'sCrochet, and today I bring you guys a tutorial. I'm showing you guys how to make this bandana that I have on right now. Go ahead and grab your cotton yarn, your favorite hook to work with cotton yarn, and join along as I show you guys how to add to a granny square to create whatever bandana you want to create. So these are the materials you will need for this specific bandana. I will be using the color Overcast by Lily Sugar and Cream, the color Black also by Lily Sugar and Cream, and then this color it's called Peacock and it's by Loops and Threads. I will also be using a 4mm crochet hook, some scissors, a stitch marker, and also a darning needle or tapestry needle. So for this tutorial, you're going to use whatever type of granny square you want to use. I will be using this granny square right here that you see on the camera. I followed a tutorial by Hooked by Robin, and so this is what I will be using. But like I said, you can use any granny square you want to use. For example, you can use something like this or something like this, or even like a different flower. You can do whatever you want. For this tutorial, I will be using this one right here. So in this tutorial, I will be showing you how to connect up a square, a granny square, to make a bandana like more customizable to like what you are specifically looking for. For me, I was looking for a 3D type of flower effect to go right on top of my head for a bandana. Example, I will show you the one I made for myself a while back. I made this one. It has been used quite a bit, but this one was made with 24/7 cotton in their black, in this yellow color, and a gray. So without further ado, after we choose our granny square, let's start on the sides to connect up. So we will start using the base color. So my base color is black, so that is the color that I will be using for the rest of this base. Let's go ahead and start with a slip knot. And we're going to chain 2. And in the first chain, I work on the back loop, on the third loop right there. I will go ahead and work a standing double crochet. That's 1, 2, which is basically just 2 single crochets on top of each other. I will go ahead and make 2 more double crochets to create my first granny cluster. And from here, I will chain 2 and crochet another granny cluster in the same chain right there in the beginning. A granny cluster is just 3 double crochets together. Not 3 double crochets together, just like in the same stitch. There we have it. That's our little first triangle right there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my work. And in the same stitch that we ended right there, I'm gonna go ahead and work another standing double crochet. That's how I start every row. You don't have to start every row like this, but that's just how I do it. And if you need a stitch marker to help you find your first and or last stitch, you can go ahead and use it. Example, my first stitch right here, 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and mark it just for the sake of this video, and that's where I will be working my last granny cluster later. And if you need a second one, you can go ahead and grab a second one to mark your first one right here. And I'm doing a granny cluster right there. Just 3 double crochets in the first double crochet from the row before. Next, we're going to skip the next 2 double crochets and work into the chain 2 space. Go ahead and work 1 granny cluster, chain 2, and then another granny cluster to create that corner right there. Next, I will go ahead and take off that stitch marker right here and work a double crochet on the first V right there, from the last double crochet right there, or standing double crochet that we did there, and just make another granny cluster in the same stitch right there, and that gets us to round 2. I will keep on increasing rounds until I reach 6 rounds. As you can see over here, there's 6 granny clusters on my granny square right here. So I want my first triangle section to be as big as this part right here, and for me it's 6 clusters big. I will show you again how to do this. Turn my work, stacked standing double crochet, here we go, 2 more double crochets, work in my next space right there between clusters, go up and work the corner, and work a granny cluster into the next space, going down, and then 1 more granny cluster into that first double crochet right there. Alright, I will follow this same pattern for the next 3 rounds and then show you where I'm at as soon as I'm finished with this. Alright, so now that I have my first side done, I will go ahead and cut my yarn right there and show you guys really quickly that it is the size, the same exact size that I need for that one side. Now that the first one is done, we're gonna go ahead and do a second one identical to the one you just made for this other side over here. So when you're done with that, meet back up with me so I can show you what goes next. To finish this one off, we're gonna go ahead and do a slip stitch and just, you know, close it off right there. Now we can continue to the next one. Alright, so now that I have the second triangle part done, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one to the side and grab my granny square. Go ahead and I'm gonna make sure that both of them are laying frontwards. The way that you know that is the last row should be facing upwards. The back and the front of stitches are different. So this is the back part. I know you guys can't really see it, it's black yarn, but there's like more of a bump on this last row or up here whenever it comes to the double crochets than there is in the front. In the front it lays more flat right here. That's what you should be looking for. So I know that this is my front, and obviously I know that this is my front because of the flower behind it. It doesn't look like a flower, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and have it like this and lay this one on top like that. Grab it, and I'm left-handed, so I'm gonna turn it this way, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a slip stitch back loop of this part right here and front loop of this side right here. So the stitches on the top have 2 loops, the back loop, the front loop, which because it's looking at me, this is the front loop, and the back loop is on this side. Same for the other side. This will be the front loop because it's facing me, and this one will be the back loop because it's facing the other way. I'm gonna insert my hook there, turn my work, and I ended right here in a double crochet, so I will go ahead and insert my crochet hook into this first back loop right there, and on the square I'm going to go ahead and grab my first double crochet right here from the cluster and insert my hook into the back loop, or the front loop, sorry. Grab my working yarn, which is right here, and pull through all 3 loops that I had on my hook, creating a slip stitch right there. And I will continue that throughout. So back loop of the first one, front loop of the second one, yarn over and slip stitch, back, front, slip stitch. Always remember to just look at your stitches. Right now I'm going to start on the second cluster, so you should be starting on the second cluster as well on the other part on both sides. Back, front, slip, back, front, slip, and continue doing that until we reach the corner up here. If it's easier for you to just place that stitch marker right there in the corners of both of them just to hold up there while we work, that's completely fine. That's what I like to do. I've reached my last stitch right there, and I like to grab one of the chains right here and connect it also, just the first one to the first one over here, just like that. And I will go ahead and cut my yarn, and there goes my first side. I will go ahead and do the same exact side thing to the other side, just like that, and just connect it. Alright, don't cut your yarn yet, but at the moment you should have something that looks kind of like this. Alright, at this time now we're going to insert back our hook to where we just pulled it out of, and we're just going to start working single crochets all around our work to make it look more tidier. Right here in this first cluster that we have right here, we're going to chain up 1 and work a single crochet. And at this point it's really good to use your stitch marker to mark up that first stitch so you don't lose it later. Go ahead and work 3 single crochets in each one of the double crochets of the next cluster. Keep working single crochets on top of every double crochet along the clusters until we reach the corner. We are almost at that first corner. I like to go ahead and start tucking in my ends right here. I just pull it along where I'm working at, and I just crochet over it like I would normally crochet over the stitches, just over my tail, so I don't have to weave it in later. Or if you don't like doing that, you can totally leave the ends for the end of your project and weave it in then. We have reached the end here, and I'm gonna go ahead and work 1 more single crochet right there to turn my work a little, and gonna continue crocheting along here. I like to do 2 single crochets on each cluster space right here, and in this little knot right here I crochet 1 single crochet in there and then continue 2 on each one of the double crochets right there that goes along. You can do however many you think you need or you want to do. It's totally up to you. I'm just telling you what I do. Right here I have reached my joins right here. I'm going to go ahead and crochet over those joins. In this middle stitch we're going to add 1. Right here in each join we're going to add 2, and then continue on 2 on each. I'm going to go ahead and put 1 single crochet right there, a second one right next to it, 1, 2 in the center. I think 2 is better now that I'm looking at it. And right here, 1, 2 in the join right there, and continue crocheting along, 2 on each cluster right there. I'm here at the corner again. I'm gonna go ahead and put another single crochet into that last single crochet I just did so I can turn the corner better. And again, just work 1 single crochet onto each double crochet until the top edge right here. Again, in this space right here we're doing 2 single crochets and continuing along 1 on each. We have reached the corner right here. We're going to do 2 single crochets right there and continue working single crochets down until we reach the end where we started at, which is just a few stitches away right here. Right here I'm going to do my last single crochet in that space right there. And remember earlier we did start with an extra single crochet right there, so we're just going to go ahead and do a slip stitch right there and go ahead and cut off our yarn. I'm gonna go ahead and weave in my ends, the last of it that I have, and then continue working on the next step. Alright, I will crochet over this end later. At this point I'm gonna go ahead and grab the blue yarn that I worked my center with, and I will go ahead and work single crochets all around my bandana again, just to give it that extra touch of color, and then continue from there. I will go ahead and add my yarn right here in this corner. Just gonna go ahead and insert my hook. This part is pretty easy since it is just double single crochets all along it on each corner, like over here when we get back on this side, and then down here we're going to leave a chain 2 space down here and a chain 2 on each one of these corners. Alright, so at this point I'm gonna go ahead and grab my third color, which is this gray yarn right here, and we're gonna go ahead and work that final edge, which is just scallops, and then on the top we have a scallop with a picot. So if you don't know how to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to, starting with the yarn, of course. And right here, I'm gonna add my crochet hook into that first stitch right there. Chain 1, insert my hook in there again, and work a single crochet. Right here, I'm going to skip 2 stitches. We're going to work a cluster of 5 or a shell, which is just 5 double crochets right there into the same stitch. All 5 double crochets into the same stitch. That's 2, 3, 4, and number 5. Skip 2 stitches, and in the third one, work a single crochet. Next, skip 2 and work another cluster of 5 or a shell. 2, 3, 4, and number 5. And then skip 2, 1, 2, and work a single crochet. We're going to keep on doing this until we reach the end up here. Should end in a single crochet. We are at the tippy top over here, and right there in that 2 chain space, we're going to work 4 double crochets. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, create a picot, which is just doing a slip stitch. I'm going to go ahead and grab that first loop right there and this loop right here that makes the double crochet, and pull up a loop and close that loop, creating a picot and working 4 more double crochets into that same space. Skipping 2 stitches, and in the third one doing a single crochet. This should look something like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and continue until the end down here. Right here, I just finished up with the last single crochet right there. I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn one more time. Alright, and as you can see, we are not done yet. We still need to do one more row right here of single crochets, but before we do that, we have to make this strap first. So we'll put that on the side right now and pull from our gray yarn. And the way that I do the straps is I just do a slip knot, and I like to do stacked standing single crochets. I will do a total of like 65 to 70 stacked single crochets. Depends on how many, like how long you want yours. Remember, we started by chaining 2. In the first chain back loop, we insert our hook, yarn over, and pulling up a loop, making a single crochet, and continuing making single crochets in that second leg right there until we reach the amount of stitches you want. Like I said, I think I'm just gonna do like 65 or 70. We'll see how long it gets, and then we'll connect to the bandana. I made 70 chains right here. I'm gonna go ahead and insert my hook again right there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pull these strands to this side and crochet right here onto the next stitch, which is this chain space, the chain 2 space right there, and do 2 single crochets, and then keep crocheting single crochets until I reach the other end. there's a little gap right there. We're gonna go ahead and close that with your tapestry or darning needle. I'm gonna pull out that gray. You have a little tail like this. We're just gonna go ahead and connect it right here to this little corner right there on the strap. Pull it through, and in the V right here, put our darning needle through the back loop and on that other loop right here on the third loop. Just pull through there and close it up. That way there's no weird gap right there. And just weave in your end as regular, like however you like to weave in your end. And mine is just gonna come out through here through these single crochets that I'm working on. Like that. I made it here to the end, and I'm doing my 2 single crochets right here. And from here we're gonna keep on going and making the strap. So right here we're gonna turn our work a little and working that little leg right here. Turning over, pulling up a loop, turning over, pulling up a loop through both of those, and making our first stack standing single crochet. Marking it if you need to mark it. And I'm gonna make 70 single crochets going up like that. So I need 68 more. Went ahead and cut my yarn, and I did 1 little chain right there. Pull up my yarn really tightly, and just as I connected my my stitch right there, I'm gonna do the same to this side. Now I like to give it a good stretch. Alright, and at the ends of right here of my straps, just gonna do a little knot. And just cut off the excess yarn, and that is the completed bandana. What do you guys think? Do you like it? If you do make some, please go ahead and tag me over on Instagram. My Instagram is at Stunning'sCrochet. And yeah, I will put some pictures in with my mannequin wearing this. And other than that, I will see you guys in my next video, which I post every Wednesday at 9 in the morning. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye guys.